Yo guys, it's John here with Option Lab. In this one, I'm going to be talking about how I plan to make 6K in 1 month in one single click, trading 80% probability options. So, if you guys are not familiar with who I am and what I trade, I'm the owner of Option Lab. I trade high probability option selling strategies. So, how this video came about is because a lot of you guys who have been joining my free Discord. By the way, link is down below. The first 10 people who join, I'm sending you guys a free trade. So hop in, dropping all the sauce in there. But a bunch of you guys have been asking me, can you please cover a trade that you're going to take, why you're taking it, sort of the rationale, the probability, how to enter, etc. So that's what this video is going to be. And if you guys have not seen my account before, I'll refresh it here. So I don't get any comments below saying this is bullshit or this is a scam, whatever you guys like to comment. So anyway, back to the analysis. So 6K in 1 month in one click trading what I normally trade. It's called the wheel strategy. So let me move myself out of the way here. So the option wheel strategy, if you're not familiar with it, it entails selling an out of the money cash secured put. And for doing so, you collect a premium. If that stock drops below your strike price by expiration, you get assigned 100 shares of stock at that strike price, but you still keep the premium that you receive for selling that put. Now, if you own the stock, you can sell an out-of-the-money covered call to then lose that stock, and then the cycle repeats back up to here. So I have a bunch of videos on this. Or if you're new, I have a bunch of resources. You could just shoot me a message. So let's go into the actual trade that I'm about to take for 6K. And the stock that I'm doing this on is AMD. And right here, I have a 3-year chart open. And right now, AMD is forming this kind of like downward channel here. You could see on my trend lines. I think it's on the verge of becoming a little oversold, and I have a price level here at around 105, right? So I think that we're going to see a bounce between 100 and 105 when it touches this lower channel, and we could see a bounce also. It answers one of my main questions when I take one of these trades selling a cash secured put is, am I willing to own the stock at this price? So let's actually go through the trade. Okay, so the trade is I'm selling 20 of the AMD January 25 105 puts, and I'm putting in a limit order of 3. So if you guys can do the math, 20 times 300 is 6K. And you could see that here. The max profit is 6K. Now, obviously, this takes a significant amount of buying power, but you guys can always turn this into what's called a bull put spread by adding a option leg below. So if you guys need help with that, just shoot me a message in Discord. Okay, so there's the 6K. And what has to happen in order for that trade to be maximally profitable? So if we go back up to the chart, what needs to happen is that by our January 5th expiration, there's our 105 strike. By that expiration, the stock just needs to stay above that strike price, and I keep my full premium. Now, what happens if it goes below? If it goes below my strike price, say it goes down to 100, right? Well, I have to buy 2,000 shares at 105, and then now I own 2,000 shares at 105, but the stock's at 100, so I'm down 5 points a share. Then I can write covered calls and get more premium, and then when the stock bounces, I could get those covered calls could then take the stock away, and not only do I make money on the put premium and the call premium, I'll also make money on the difference between what I own the stock at, which is 105, and whatever I sell my covered calls at. So let's actually look at that on a diagram here. And this is what I wrote here. The guaranteed is that I make 6K in put premium, right? So for entering that trade, immediately 6K is credited to my account. Potentially, if I get assigned that stock at 105, I can make even more money then selling covered calls once I own the stock. Plus, I can make money on the flip of the stock, right? So let's actually go through that scenario quickly. If I sell the 105 put and get assigned the shares at 105, and then let's say I sell the 110 calls. So for doing so, I sell those 110 calls and I make another batch of premium. And if I get those, if it goes above 110 by the expiration on those calls, I make 5 points on that flip, right? Because I own the stock at 105 and my covered calls are at 110. So just then and there, it's a three-way, right? I made money on the puts, I made money on the calls, and I made money on the flip of the difference, right? So how do we get this trade? How is this 80%? So typically on stocks that I would be willing to own, like AMD is I think a fairly good hold long term. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the delta of what that strike price is that I'm selling. So right here, this is a 0.2 delta, meaning if I take 1 minus 0.2, I get 0.8. That means there's an 80% probability that by expiration, this stock, AMD, stays above my 105 strike price. And the only thing that happens on this whole diagram is that I keep my premium for the put. And I can do it again and again and again. And even if it drops below, I can sell covered calls, right? That's the beauty of this strategy. And guess what? You can literally sit on your ass, do nothing, and click one button and just make sure that it stays above your strike price. And you are chilling, right? Enough of this charting nonsense, futures nonsense, where you have to try to predict the direction. You have all these indicators and charts. It's once you trade this strategy, you never want to go back. So 0.2 delta, 80% probability. You guys saw how much I'm making on this trade. It's really as simple as that. So I have a ton of scanners set up on my Bloomberg terminal. I send all that stuff on my Discord. If you guys are interested, please send me a message on Discord. I've been talking to a bunch of you guys. Click the link down below, dropping even more sauce in there. So I will see you guys in the next one.